What a difference 24 hours can make in one of the biggest single crashes we've seen in the cryptocurrency market for years. All might not be lost. Lots of people being shaken out of positions, huge liquidations today, over $1 billion. But like I said, I'm pretty bullish on the market, and I'm going to break down exactly why. Remember, I always say if you understand why the market's dumping, you're in a much better place than if you don't. If that's something you like the sound of and you want to know a little bit more, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and let's jump into this one. So welcome back, everybody. As always, if you get something out of this video, do make sure you hit that subscribe button. Once again, turn your notification bell on so you're updated with our latest content, as well as our daily live streams. So let's talk about what the hell happened in cryptocurrency in the last 24 hours. A significant market shift driven by greed. That's the reality of this, and something that you may have heard of today called the carry trade. Now, ultimately, what is this? Well, for years and years and years, the Japanese yen, in fact, 30 years, the Japanese yen has been going down in value or has been sat at a 0% interest rate. This is very good for people who want to loan money against the Japanese yen by using, let's say, the dollar. What does it mean? Well, it means they can take a very low interest rate on the yen and then put it to work in the US currency market and earn, say, 3% on that money. Here's the problem, though. The fact that the Japanese market put their interest rates up should support the Japanese market. It didn't. It made everything cost more. Therefore, the sell or the borrows against that ultimately, therefore, became even worse. And we actually saw people margin called, debt being recalled into the Japanese market. So people were scrambling to sell positions. Well, what's the first position people sell? Big risk assets, and cryptocurrency, unfortunately, is a risk asset. Now, if you break the micro down in the cryptocurrency market, altcoins are as risky as they get, particularly meme coins. So people got smashed on them, but it's not all bad news. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But ultimately, that's what happened. And a couple of things to keep an eye out. We'll take a look at the Bitcoin chart in just a minute. The VIX, the volatility on the S&P 500 gives us an indication of where the market was going. This thing spiked over 100% today. And like we said, the Japanese yen, we want to see this coming down. This is important over the course of the next few days. Japanese yen coming down. You only have to look at the macro side of things to understand exactly where this has come from, and more importantly, why this is such a big deal. We've been constantly in a downtrend while the US markets have been rallying. So that is fundamentally where the carry trade went in. The number I've heard, $8-10 trillion that people have basically had to move to pay off funds. And again, they've been selling as many assets as you could think. Now, here's the question, though. There's a couple of key things that I am bullish longer term, namely the fact that we are still trading within a pretty solid range for Bitcoin. Now, you know that I don't cover Bitcoin as much as maybe I should do on the channel and give a view, but actually when you take a look at the charts, we still range between these two descending wedges. And actually, to close on the daily candle about 5.5%, when at points we were down as low as $49,000, tells me exactly what I need to know, that we're following a very interesting pattern. For anyone who does know technical analysis, the pattern is a pretty interesting pattern. Now, generally speaking, what happens on this move, we see a push to the upside. Some of you may think, well, that sounds like a lot of nonsense to it. Well, let me show you why I think that. We may get a priced in emergency rate cut. Now, the question is, does the Fed want to squash inflation or deal with recession? Well, the reality is they want to bring inflation down, but we could see a 1.5% reduction in interest rates. 0.75 this week, 0.75 in September would be wild, depending on what the market's done. Try and protect some of the stock markets as well as many others. Let's just face it, unfortunately, Jerome Powell doesn't care about Bitcoin, but this could be interesting. Once again, we know the two are very much correlated. So this could be a good catalyst to stimulate the market. And you'd argue, well, how do people know that? Why would people be trading this? What would people be doing? We know Warren Buffett moved $277 billion into cash. And we looked a little bit yesterday at jump trading. Well, let me show you Galaxy Digital, another big market maker in the place, about $500 million. Well, guess what? They have been buying Bitcoin, moving Bitcoin, and buying significant amounts of other altcoins all over the course of today. In fact, it has been pretty wild, the amount that they have been buying and repositioning into different wallets. Just just to give you an example, $10 million worth of Ethereum were sent to a slightly different wallet on Galaxy Digital. Not selling, just moving around a couple of wallets. $10 million in Bitcoin was moved to another wallet and is still holding. So Galaxy Digital are doing exactly the same. And you may think, well, okay, I get that. That doesn't make it the absolute swallow event. Well, look, Cumberland, DRW, another market maker, doing exactly the same. Only 32 minutes ago, they bought $1.14 million worth of Bitcoin from Gemini and moved it into their fund. 50 million currently sat there.